Good morning, students. Today I am going to start the new chapter from your part B book, that is from India, People and Economy. This is the same chapter, Human Development, with India's perspective. Here we will look into the detail with respect to impact and the philosophy of human development in India to Indian people, and what are their impact over the Indian economy in relation to Indian economy. So we will look into detail of all these things. So this is chapter 3 of your part B book. Class start with a small story about the Rekha, who is born in a family of a small farmer in Uttarakhand. So from present 60 years ago, this story starts 60 years ago. She was born 60 years ago in a small farmer family in Uttarakhand. She used to help her mother in a household works, and then she used to go to school as well, but she does not able to complete her education. Why? Because she was not, her parents were not able to afford her education, and instead of providing education to her, they decided to send her brother into the school and complete his education. So that's why she is not able to complete her education. After marriage, she widowed immediately, and that's why she was dependent on her in-law after the marriages. She could not be economically independent, and she used to face a neglected kind because she was not educated, knowledge, and she is not able to do any kind of works. So because of lesser opportunity, because she was not able to grasp and complete her education at the elementary level, so her options become very narrowed, and that's why she has to be totally dependent upon the in-laws after she got widowed. Her brother, for whom she left her studies, helped her to migrate to Delhi NCR. There she looked for the first time. There she done something for the first time, like she traveled by a bus, train, exposed to a large city for the first time. The same city which attracts her with its buildings, roads, avenues, and facilities and other amenities, disillusioned her. Over time, what happens? With greater time spending, with greater familiarity of the city, with greater time spent, she could able to comprehend and the all negative and positive paradoxes of that city, the juggies and the slum cluster, the traffic jam, congestion of in the city area, crimes, poverty, all these things she will be able to visualize, and she got the awareness regarding all these things with time spending. Small children begging on the traffic light, people sleeping on the footpaths, polluted air, water, all these things just created a kind of revealed in her mind the face of development. After all these things, she has a thinking that whether development and underdevelopment coexist. What it means? It means like what happened? She was born in a farmer family, and from there she moved ahead along the long path, and she is now settled in Delhi. So what this story says that she, that Rekha girl developed, this girl has seen development over the time, whatever development she can with the help of her brother or family members, but she has seen some sort of development. But at the same time, she went from the village to Delhi. But at the same time, she also seen the negative aspect of the city life, like the Jhuggi area, slum area, traffic jam, congestion, crimes against women, crimes prevalent in the city area, poverty, even the people sleeping on the footpaths, children begging on the traffic lights. All these things just created a picture or created a kind of thinking that is the development and underdevelopment coexist. At the same time, she is seeing that in Delhi, she is seeing like there is a huge malls, huge market, huge infrastructure is there. At the same time, slum is also there. At the same time, people are begging on the roadside, people are sleeping on the footpaths, traffic jam is there, congestion is there, so crime is there, poverty is there. So all these things had just created two sort of picture, that is whether development and underdevelopment will coexist, whether development helps some segment of the population compared to other section. What it means? It means that she is thinking like the benefit of the development actually is getting to few percentage of the few segment of the population, and rest other were not able to get the benefit, get the fruits of this development. So this development also creates some sort of haves and have-nots. Haves are richer people, have-nots are poorer people. So with development, she is seeing the dual phase of development. One is benefiting, one phase is benefiting the some segment of the society, and that can be called haves. At the same time, the other sort of the society, other segment of the society which are have-nots, were not getting the fruits and benefits of development. So here in this chapter we will examine all these paradoxes and try to understand all these phenomena. There is a kind of contradictions. So of all the paradoxes of our time mentioned in this above story of Rekha, development is the most significant one. Development of a few region, development of few individuals brought about in a short span of time led to poverty and malnutrition for many among a large scale economic or ecological degradation. Is development a class based? What it's saying? It's saying that development is giving the benefit to few segments, few people, okay, benefiting few regions, and rest regions are underdeveloped. Like benefit of development is reaching, or development is seen in a urban area, but at the same time the rural part of the country, or at the same time the slum area of the cities were not getting the actual benefit of development, or development is not reaching these regions. At the same time, few individuals who are on a top level, that is who are the haves part, who are on the receiving end, is getting the benefit brought about in a short span of time, So within a short span, whatever development is occurring in the city area, that will giving the benefit to few individuals, and the other segment will not able to get this benefit and this development leads to poverty and problem like malnutrition for many, along with a large scale of ecological degradation. Other segment is not getting anything. They are leading towards the poverty. They are facing the problem of malnutrition. At the same time, there is a very large scale ecological degradation because of development. Why? Because due to development activity, all the things which we used to create will pollute environment, will pollute air, water, land. So there is, in a long run, this all things will create ecological degradation of the natural resources. So there is, because of all these things, the apparent questions arises like, is development class based? Is development is for few segment, or is development is for haves only, not for have nots? So all these are natural questions regarding development. Apparently, it is believed that development is freedom, which is often associated with. So, is apparent is clearly clearly said. It's very apparent that development is freedom. It is believed in complete society that development is freedom. What it means? It means that development will provide the society a kind of freedom. Freedom in sense of freedom of opportunity, freedom of options, freedom of choice. Different choices are there. So apparently it is believed that development is freedom. Freedom in sense of freedom of opportunity, freedom of choices. And this freedom is associated in a modern time or in the present time in the context of modernization. Leisure we enjoy, comfort we get in the developed or city area. The leisure we enjoy in a city area, developed region, like us, we used to went for a watching movie in a theater. All these things, amusement parks are there. So all these things are seen as a consequences or a fruits of development. So in the present context, in today's world, in today's time, computerization, industrialization, efficient transport and communication system, networks, large education system, big colleges, big school, big universities, advanced and modern medical facilities, where all the kind of tests are done with the help of different machines. Machines are there to do all the medical tests and treatment. Safety and security of the individual, all these things are considered as a symbol of development. Means the region is called developed where all these things are easily available and easily affordable to each and every people living in that area. Means anyone who have some income, some apparent or minimum income, is able to get all these things. So all these are every individual, community and government used to measure its performance or level of development in relation to the ability to access to some of these things. Means every individual person or any community or any government used to be measured on the basis of the ability of all these things like industrialization, computerization, efficient transport, communication system, education system, advanced medical facilities, safety and security over the entire area as a minimum criteria, as a measure of their level of development, as a measure its performances or level of development in relation to availability of all these things. But this may be partial and one-sided view of development. Why? Because all these things are easily affordable, available, accessible to half part, the richer section, the section who has proper income. But what about those people who are have-nots, who are not well, who are not able to generate much income, who are not part of the mainstream of the society, who are advantageous, not who are disadvantageous group. So all these things will just show a one side or one view of development, and this view is often called the Western or European view of development, Eurocentric view of development. So in the Western country or the Western Eurozone or European country, the development is measured on the basis of performance of all these criteria, and development is measured on the basis of all these freedom and all these facilities available in the area. But at the same time, for a post-colonial country like India, like in case of India, colonization, marginalization, social discrimination and regional disparity etc. show the other face of development. So as we are post-colonial period, we are firstly colony of European powers. So this colonization, under this colonized period, we Indians are very marginalized, and we are not given a proper respect in the society. We are exploited by these European. There is a lot of social discrimination and regional disparity created under this colonial time or colonial period. So same way we can say like in time of colonial period, there is a creation of for example we can understand it. Definitely colonial period, that is British government has created one of the most efficient transport system of India, like the Indian Railway. It is created at the time of Britishers itself. So few people or few section of the society can say that this is a development. This sort of development is done by Britishers or colonial power. But at the same time, we need to understand it that this development of Indian Railway is basically for the exploitation of natural resources from each and every corner of India, and is this sending all these resources to the seaports from where they can easily be transported or shifted to England to serve the industrial revolution of England. So UK में वहाँ के इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन के कारण वहाँ का नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज टाइम के साथ, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज़ का नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज टाइम के साथ ओवर यूटिलाइज होके एग्जॉस्ट हो चुका था, एंड दैट्स वाई कॉलोनियल पावर स्टार्टेड टू लुकिंग आफ्टर डिफरेंट countries of the world and started colonizing them for the extraction of raw material so that they can feed the industrial revolution of respective European country. So the development of this all infrastructure under the British government was mainly for that purpose. The aim is to exploit the things over India on a large scale. So this colonization, marginalization and social discrimination and regional disparity is the other and can show the other face of development. Same way in the cities also we can see that with development there are many infrastructures, overbridges, national highways, railways, malls, shopping malls, market complex, all these things are there in the city area. But at the same time, the other face is people begging on a traffic light, poor people sleeping on the footpaths, traffic jam, slum area, all these things will show the other face of development. So there are few areas like metropolitan cities and other developed enclaves that have all the modern facilities, all the infrastructure available to a small section of its population. But at the other extreme of it, there are large rural area and the slum in the urban area that do not have basic amenities like potable water, education and health infrastructure available to majority of this population. So the situation is more alarming if one look at the distribution of the development opportunity among the different section of the society. So definitely the development has to picture. Development definitely will helping the given or helping the economy of the given country, but the other picture is all about the distribution of development and the opportunity and the options created in the form of development. So whether this development is properly distributed to each and every corner and nooks of the society, whether the benefit of this development is reaching even the poorest of poor, that will show the exact picture and the second phase of development. Which is very negative. The distribution is not proper. Development definitely is there, but the distribution of development to each and every corner of the society is not proper, and that's why we can easily see the problems like majority of scheduled caste, majority of scheduled tribes, landless agricultural laborers, poor farmers and slum dwellers etc. are the most marginalized lot which are there even in the one of the most developed country of the world as well. So with development there is other picture, other figure of development also lying. Approximately in a country like India or any colonized post-colonial country, a large segment of female population is the worst sufferer amongst all the disadvantageous group. it is equally true that the relative as well as absolute condition of majority of these marginalized section have worsened with the development happening over the year. So from the time of independence or even before that, with the development happening, what is the issue? Issue is that this marginalized and disadvantageous section is not getting the benefit of this development and are facing absolute condition of poverty. Consequently, vast majority of the people are compelled to live under a abject poverty and subhuman condition. So with development, many section of the society are getting benefit, but at the same time with development we are also saying that major chunk or many other section of the society will be forced or compelled to live under a abject poverty and subhuman conditions. So all these things are there. So with respect to the chapter we read under the part A book, that is human development, from here onwards we will look into the detail and we will just try to compare the aspect of development with all these things in regarding and in relation with the chapter 4 human development of part A book. So here in the next class I will going to show you the connection between the human development in this part of the syllabus with the part A book. So I will try to connect, or I will try to give a relation between this chapter with the previous chapter which we already studied regarding the human development. So that's it for the day. See you in the next class. Bye bye.